Boondoggle. We're back. We came back for our third episode. I'm Kevin Fennell with...
What's a boondoggle?
I don't know, I say boondoggle.
When have you ever said boondoggle?
Sorry right now. You could have been cool, you could have just rolled with it.
We're here with our friend Luke.
Wait.
Luke, boondoggle Sherry.
Nick still didn't introduce himself for the third straight episode.
You're supposed to introduce me!
I said with, and then you started making fun of me. So... Whatever you'd like to believe.
And why don't you go boondoggle yourself?
Whatever truth you want to believe, you could do that. Anyway, we got Luke Sherry here.
Hello.
Good old boondoggle. Luke, what are we watching today?
I picked out Shanghai Noon. We went to a thrift store, checked out their video selection. I think I may have bought a copy of Shanghai Noon from the same thrift store a few days ago.
Nice.
Couldn't remember for sure if I had bought it or not, but I decided I wanted to see it enough to risk buying it twice. It looked interesting. I think it's important to, watch movies that involve people from other cultures.
Asians.
I'm told that the Wilsons are from Texas, which is basically a different fucking planet.
That's
and
different culture.
so I think it's important to experience different cultures. So I'm excited to have Owen Wilson sort of introduce me to
his perception,
his perspective on the world through this movie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm the only one that's seen it. I saw it in theaters with my dad.
No one's surprised here.
Yeah, I see movies in theaters all the time. How many Jackie Chan movies you guys seen?
Very few.
I saw the second. What's with them?
The Tuxedo, I believe, is the one you're thinking of.
You talking about Tuxedo?
Yeah.
You talking about Tuxedo?
Right.
That's its most famous.
Of course, we've all seen that.
We all. I mean, come on, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I don't know. I can't think of a Jackie Chan movie that I have seen.
The second Rush Hour movie. That's the one I saw.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Rush Hour.
I haven't seen Rush Hour.
I've only seen him speak English. I've never seen him.
I saw the movie where he's in Brooklyn, but he's speaking.
I don't like dubbed movies.
Oh, you know what? I've seen Drunken Master. That's Jackie Chan.
I've seen the fights in Drunken Master. I haven't seen the actual film. Fights are really cool. So yeah, I'm the only one who's seen Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. Shanghai Nights. That's the sequel to Shanghai Noon.
Yeah.
Wait, are they in the West or are they in like China?
I think we're gonna find out.
Well, of course we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah. Well,
because we're gonna watch this movie.
Yeah, let's all find out together. Except for Kevin, who already knows.
You said I already know the answer.
Can we just watch the Tuxedo instead?
How?
No, I got rid of that. I did own it at one time.
You watched it so many times it broke.
That was a dark time.
It was a dark time in my life. I had
Kevin's Tuxedo obsession.
Yeah, I love the Tuxedo. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt. You know what the bad guys are doing in that movie, right?
No.
In Tuxedo? Oh, they're poisoning water so it makes you more thirsty so they can sell more water.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is the poison that they're using salt?
Essentially, because what happens is that they give this, to prove how bad it is and how bad they are, they give it to a crony that messes up, and he just evaporates and he dehydrates so much that he dies.
Okay, desiccates, I believe, would actually be. Yeah.
Oh, correct words. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow, what's this guy?
What was that for Luke?
Okay. So we're about to put on the Tuxedo.
Anyway,
so
spoilers for Tuxedo. We're gonna watch Shanghai Noon.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. Disappointment for Luke.
That's my life.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Hey guys, we'll see you after the movie.
We're not gonna see you.
Not gonna see you at all, because that's impossible. This is a podcast. No one's listening anyway.
You're watching stuff with Kevin and Nick. Watching it on the Disney Princess TV. You're watching stuff with Kevin and Nick. You're watching stuff.
And the movie's over and we're back. Boom. I'm still Kevin Fennell. With...
our good friend Luke Sherry. And our bad friend next to us.
The worst friend to have in the world. And this is awesome. Our podcast. This is awesome. We just watched Shanghai Noon, which was
pretty great.
It was okay.
No.
It's
no,
a
no,
movie.
No,
Oh.
it was.
Let's go, Nick. Hit
It
it.
was pretty good.
It was a good movie.
I mean, it's fun.
I agree.
I mean, it's fun. It's a goofy movie.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan, doing Jackie Chan stuff.
Yeah, good fight scenes. I thought.
Yeah,
you know, the fight scenes
definitely.
were, you know,
See,
what you would expect.
What I thought was good about the fight scenes is that they it kept the. It ended up taking up like a huge block of time that would have just been full of probably like throwaway jokes.
We're
So
like
you really
riding
just-
around on horses.
Yeah.
You really got just the gold, really.
What's so cool about watching movies like this is Jackie Chan does his own fight choreography. He does his own stunts. You get to watch him fight, which is awesome. Which is what makes his movie so cool. And the way that he works with props, which is something he always did in his career and does now, which is why he became such a child obsessed kind of guy. But kids love his stuff because he uses all these weird props and he does all these goofy things. And he made Disney movies. And so that's what's so interesting about watching him work, and that's what's cool about this movie for sure.
Let's also not forget about Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah, Jackie Chan Adventures, definitely. That's more childhood related stuff.
I don't think I know Jackie Chan Adventures, but
It's
definitely,
just
yeah,
a TV show.
the props were good. The weapons scenes were, I thought,
Mhm.
particularly good, like the spear.
The horseshoe
the
scene's
spears.
so cool.
Oh, that was,
It is.
yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's really cool, just it uses a rope and a horseshoe.
Right.
That's all. That's awesome.
Right, and the our version included some what was it, like outtakes and stuff at the end. So there was one where he was working with the horseshoe, and it just shows like it's cool to see him mess it up.
Hit
Oh,
himself.
yeah, he hits
Yeah,
himself
he hits
with a
himself
horseshoe.
with it.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
And it's a
that's just what
horseshoe. It
happens.
hurts.
yeah, it realize it's like real, like he's actually just like doing it.
Jackie Chan. What'd you think about Jackie Chan as an actor?
Always love Jackie Chan as an actor.
Yeah,
I can't think of any particular.
he understood English pretty quickly and pretty easily.
Right.
Yeah,
But
that's,
Maybe he was already taught English or something,
Yeah.
but
yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
long
Well,
they make it
sequence,
seem
a
that he
long time of
learns
just
it.
like
Right.
watching.
They make it seem like he learns it just from listening to the
Right.
princess learn it.
right,
Well,
but
he
somehow
was
he can
probably
read
learning
it.
for a long time then. Like,
After.
Yeah. Yeah, how he learns to read it from listening to somebody is sort of an open question, I think, in the movie. But I'll give him that
maybe
one.
somebody on the
But
boat
his
showed him.
but his uncle
With
is
7
the
weeks.
translator. So
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So he,
yeah.
I think I think Jackie Chan's okay. He's fine as an actor. He's really good in like the fights and stuff like that. So like his acting is passable. It doesn't really have to be anything beyond that. I wouldn't think.
better than Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. And Owen Wilson is great. I mean,
Yeah.
I really like Owen Wilson.
I mean,
He had
yeah.
some like hilarious lines. I like when he was like doubting himself, and he's like, "No, he's definitely gonna kill me."
I guess we should talk about the plot a little bit before we start talking about just the actors. So Jackie Chan, well, the Princess Pepe,
I think she's going on like a trip to America.
yeah, to see the Chinese that are building the railroad.
Jackie
And she
Chan
does wanna
tries to stop her. She's
Doesn't.
like, "Yo,
Stop it!
fuck off!"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know
And
he's a
like,
slave, so
yeah.
he's got to be all.
Okay.
Yeah. There
So-
seems to be a lot of like okaying of slave culture in this.
Yeah, the whole. I mean, yeah, the whole.
Well, no, I think it's kind of
The
like
bad
it's
guy's like,
critical,
"You're a
right?
slave."
Like, let's talk about the Forbidden City scene. I thought it was cool, all the extras and like how they.
It's a cool
Oh yeah, all the other like Imperial guards.
Yeah, that was cool.
Right in the square. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good scene. It's no like hero with like 50,000 extras or something, but it was cool.
And so they come to America with the three choosing. Oh yeah, and we talked about this a little when we were watching it because they choose the three most best Imperial Guard, which is not Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan's just the guy that scrubs hallways and learns English.
He's just a.
But his uncle's like, I'm the translator. I want Jackie Chan to come with me. Jackie Chan's, of course, hilariously named John Wayne.
Chang Wang or something like
It's
that. though.
Chun Wang,
Yeah.
Chun
but
Wang.
it's pronounced John Wayne. Especially.
Which is not a good cowboy name according to.
Do you get it? Because it's a
yeah,
joke. Because
yeah,
John
yeah.
Wayne's
Luke
a bad
Wilson.
cowboy name.
Right.
But Owen Wilson's name is
Or Owen
actually
Wilson.
Wait, what are they referring to Owen Wilson?
his real name.
No, but what do they call him throughout the entire movie? I didn't even know.
Roy O'Bannon.
Okay.
which is a great cowboy name according to Owen Wilson. But Owen Wilson's real name is Wyatt Earp.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked up that one.
Because that's the final great joke.
Yeah. That he's gonna go on to do great things.
No, that he thinks Wyatt Earp is a stupid cowboy name that would never work, and
Yeah.
so he's not going to use it.
So he doesn't use it.
So there's like some other Wyatt Earp becomes
the Wyatt
famous.
Earp.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that it was a joke
I
about.
don't think I was trying to imply that he is the Wyatt Earp that's at the OK Corral or whatnot.
No, I'd rather have it all tie into real history.
Well, that they
as
do
opposed
that,
to
they
this
do
just
that,
semi-real history.
They do that with the next movie. Spoilers.
Oh, don't tell me about that.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
You
saying.
just said spoiler.
Yeah.
You're lucky I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, good. Thank God. All right, so they come to America. They run into Roy O'Bannon, who, with his crew of motley gentlemen and a new guy, which I love all the little things. Because the new guy is Walton Goggins, who's an awesome actor, who had really weird parts for the early part of his career, and now he gets much better parts. Like he was in Lincoln recently, and he's on Justified, and he's amazing.
I've never seen either one of those
Nope,
things.
me neither.
Well, you guys suck. He's also.
We can talk about Bob's Burgers again.
We can talk about Bob's Burgers, but yeah.
See
Walton
how bad?
But yeah, so then they hold up the train, and Walton Goggins shoots Jackie Chan's uncle.
Yeah, just
Shoots him.
just winging it.
Yeah, just winging it. That's the joke. I love when Owen Wilson hits on the chick. I don't know. I think
I
that's
love
funny.
it when he gives the new guy a pep talk before they go on. Just like, don't be
Yeah.
nervous, it'll be okay.
It's gonna be great. I got your back.
Owen Wilson just like as a
Yeah, he works. He just works in this movie. His shtick is just—it's funny.
because he's around a bunch of tough guys. It's not
And
like
yeah, and like his cockiness.
and he's trying to fit in with it.
Yeah.
Not like he just like can't help it but be like this like sort of like Zen kind of guy.
Yeah, it's almost like the opposite from like Bottle Rocket or something, where he's trying to be this tough guy and like at the toughest, but everybody around him is like even more of like a loser, like fake tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like in Wedding Crashers when he's cocky and badass because everyone thinks he's so cool.
Right,
He
like
the
this
coolest
is
guy.
yeah.
He
I
is
like
the
I like
coolest guy.
the
In
like
this, he is
self
such a
doubt.
schmuck.
Yeah, the
And
self
it's
doubt.
so
stuff is
funny
really
that he's a schmuck. But I mean, it's impressive he gets out of that hole when he's dug into a hole because his
chopsticks.
his crew turns on him and digs him into a hole.
Yeah,
And
very
he's
up to your neck.
Very
kind
up
of
to his
deal.
neck, and Jackie Chan gives him chopsticks to dig
The
himself out.
transition, the joke before
That's-
that, where he's in like he's having the fantasy in the brothel before he like realizes, where he's just like, how the Cowboys were being so mean to me.
Oh yeah, that part was great. Yeah.
They just
Because you can
He feels
imagine
really
him doing
bullied.
that in
Yeah.
brothels.
Yeah.
And because it's just, yeah.
I'm sure you could. They
Because I mean, I love that joke at the end when the mean sheriff, or mean lawman, who's on
the
team,
marshal.
the bad, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He says, "How have you survived out here?"
Yeah.
Because the question is, how has he? Because it's impossible.
Yeah, he's a train robber.
he would have been shot.
He was the leader of a gang.
Yeah.
How
That
did
turned
he-
on him and did not kill him.
Yeah.
But how has he survived? Because I mean, I've seen Deadwood. Dude
Positive.
would've died.
Positive. Well, I don't. How accurate is Deadwood? Were they there?
Relatively. Okayly. I mean, I feel like it's more realistic in the fact that people got shot all the time.
I'm sure they did.
Luke wrote stuff down. What'd you write down?
Yeah, what you got?
Well, so we were talking also
Yeah.
about whether execution should be in public or not. We talked
Yeah,
about
we
that.
talked
They're
about
gonna
that.
they're gonna get like
Yeah.
hanged.
Yeah,
And,
by
uh,
really like giant ropes.
Giant ropes. Really
Yes, it
long
was a
ones.
very tall gallows. I think because they had to run a carriage completely underneath it. So
Yeah.
the gallows was kind of ridiculously tall. But
And okay, so what
Yeah, I
are
don't
they,
know,
what
public
are they wanted
executions?
for? Why is
for the
why is-
train robbery,
Why
I
is Jackie
think,
Chan wanted?
because he's like with him.
Yeah, they.
Oh, so they-
working
'cause
together.
they-
And also,
assume-
the guy is
they
probably
ass-
working with the lawmen, right? Like
but they don't know who Jackie Chan is. They just know it's an Asian guy, so they think it's an
Oh.
inside job.
Yeah, but the-
Well, also
the
they
bar
wrecked up
fight.
the bar,
So they-
and he
right,
beat up
that's-
like a bunch of
yeah.
people. So I think that's what
Yeah.
he's like wanted for. It's the bar fight, and I guess they probably think he's involved in the train robbery.
Yeah, and then we should talk about this because like 40 minutes of this movie is Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson being against each other.
They're actually like
Being
not
separate.
together for
Yeah,
a good
being
amount of
separate,
the movie, like maybe
getting
more,
back together.
almost half.
And then Owen Wilson actually makes a joke about how they wasted time.
Oh, the
get them to-
montage in the mountains?
Yeah.
There's
Like-
this long montage in the mountains where
Where
Jackie
Jackie Chan somehow just walks through the Colorado mountains.
walks across the mountain. in
Don Party
Nevada.
couldn't make it.
Yeah.
He was fine.
He's
Yep.
okay. All he needed was water. Don't see him eat. Don't see him like hunt for things.
Yeah,
Don't-
freeze to death.
Don't
Yeah.
see him. Don't see him wear shoes. Gets right through that. Meets up with Owen Wilson, who has dug himself out of a hole. They fight
With chopsticks. With chopsticks.
with chopsticks. They fight against each other. They fight with each other. They're with each other. They're against each other.
Guys, this movie about an Imperial Guard and a cowboy teaming
Yeah.
up to save a princess doesn't really seem to be grounded in reality.
You know, Nick, you're right.
But yeah, the walking through the mountains part was definitely dumb.
it was
The joke
pretty-
later on in the movie
Yeah.
could have been, like sort of self-referential, self-conscious about
Why
like
did-
how they just wasted time, like having so many trips through the mountains.
It's-
There were definitely a couple scenes where you're like, okay, they didn't accomplish anything there.
Nope.
But yeah, I don't know.
So it
public-
did get him to his wife.
Oh yeah. Oh
Who
yeah.
They just
We
bailed
didn't
on
talk about that. Yeah, Jackie Chan, after
Right.
walking through the mountain, runs into a bunch of Indians, beats up the mean Indians, who you know are mean because they scream and holler and go.
And they're like, it's like two of them trying to chase
She's
like
like
this
a-
little
a
girl.
girl.
Yeah, yeah,
12-year-old.
okay.
Possibly a boy.
It's definitely a boy.
Oh, it's a little boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and so Jackie Chan fights off the bad Native Americans to save the good Native Americans, joins up with the good Native Americans, smokes a bunch of weed. Where they even make a joke where it says, "This is some good shit" in Indian. In Chippewa, whatever Native American Indian.
We think it's Sioux.
Yeah.
I was saying I think there were the Sioux Indians. They were
in
against
Nevada.
the Crow.
I don't know what's in Nevada.
It was because they said like Washdaya or Washday, and I remember hearing that in Dances with Wolves where he was with the Sioux.
Yeah. And then also, I don't know what language they decided to use for the script and what's
Right.
actually in Nevada
Right.
and what was
Or
in
if
Nevada
they
at
just
the
decided
time.
to use gibberish.
We don't
Nonetheless, they thank God they have a line.
Some
they have,
Plains
they have
Indian tribe.
words.
Right.
They have a word that
Which we can
refers
translate
into that gas weed. That's good shit. They have that just in case.
Yes, so
Okay,
don't
and-
worry. Don't
Which
worry.
I
It's-
feel
yeah.
the suit definitely did. Pro show.
So they got that covered.
He
but
gets so high. He gets so high, so stoned, he passes out.
And, I think this is a good, anti-drug thing because he wakes up married to a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Right.
In a
I
town,
gotta
in
tell
a town
you,
that totally accepts
A
him.
lot of times I've fallen asleep really high.
And married a princess.
Did
Yeah,
not marry-
and
did not-
every single
did not marry
time.
a princess once.
So
And she very makes it plainly stated that she took advantage of him and went to the bone zone.
right.
Because she makes a joke when they're getting married. It wasn't that hard to convince him last night.
Yeah, like
when
he wasn't complaining last
wasn't
night.
complaining last
He
night.
probably also was not consenting.
Yeah.
I mean, like he was not. He was not
was
complaining,
passed out.
but he was
Yo,
also
oh my God.
like only
Oh my
yes
God,
means
dude.
yes.
They
Jackie Chan
they
did get
straight up
raped, I
date
mean.
rape Jackie Chan
Yeah.
in this movie. He gets
Yeah.
drugged, raped, and married.
Right.
No, I don't know. I think that he was probably consensual.
Yeah, or
you know,
he's
if-
just lying because he's like, oh no, I didn't mean to have sex with that girl. I'm in love with.
No,
this
I just don't
princess."
remember because
But
I
so
got
by the
really
end of the
high
movie,
Or I
and
chose
half
By the
not
end
to
of the movie,
memory
his
loss.
wife. I mean, spoiler alert. I
Yeah.
don't know. The end
Just
is like.
switches wives.
Yeah, they switch wives, and
Yeah,
like she
Owen
just
Wilson
decides to
can-
go with Owen Wilson so
yeah.
that like the Chinese people can be together. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like nobody even like taught. Like it's just all of a sudden
The
like
movie
she's
would
really
not make
attracted
sense
to-
if the races didn't stay together.
But wait a second, Owen Wilson
Yeah,
married.
no, I know, but yeah, nonetheless.
So that was
Yeah, so
Unusual.
there's that little tangent into Native American country. Then they meet up with Owen Wilson. Then they get arrested. Well, first they get drunk at the brothel,
Oh,
which
they
I
did
thought
their
was a
bath
fun
together.
scene. Yeah, they become best friends.
right.
Getting
A
drunk
buddy
together
scene,
at bats.
yep, right.
I mean, you had to have that,
Yeah.
and it was definitely.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Earlier today.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I mean. For our
Oh,
audience who
oh,
wasn't
yeah.
there, we were
Oh,
all there
what are you talking about? The time
in a
I-
bathtub.
Yeah.
the three
Oh
of
no,
us,
I was talking about the time I
earlier
peed on
today.
that.
That rag.
I peed on that.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that
the
wasn't.
silk-
that-
the
it's
silk
not
ribbon?
appropriate to do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't pee on stuff,
Yeah, no, especially
particularly
in
in
restaurants.
restaurants.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Stuff in restaurants.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
All right.
yeah, good.
Anyway, so
They become best friends.
they become buddies.
They're gonna get hanged.
Hanged by the neck until
Hanged
they're...
by the neck until.
Which
their
one
feet
thing I
stop
don't understand
kicking.
is why is this is America? Why is the marshal just like executing them? Why isn't there a judge? Why isn't there due process?
They are wanted dead or alive for.
It doesn't matter.
But to the marshal.
But the marshal collects money for.
I don't know.
Again, this movie about saving a princess doesn't make any sense.
Also,
Right. Well,
okay,
they
I'm
just
going
kinda had
by
some of
what
the
I
due
know.
process, I
I know this is what I know from Deadwood. Okay, in the first episode, this guy is wanted. Is going to be put to death, and the marshal has to put him to death because there's a mob, and he has to put him to death. It's like justice has to be put out because the mob's going to kill him anyway.
Okay.
So I feel like marshals might have had in their time purview to kill.
Right. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
context
If
or
it's
felons.
like, well, you can kill him while apprehending him, then like a marshal can that makes sense.
I feel it was in there.
But if you surrender, you
'Cause it's-
surrendered yourself to.
I don't. Yeah.
But at the same time, who cares? 'Cause
I don't know how
you're
much is
a
due
criminal
process-
And everybody wants you dead.
How
so
much is
everybody's
due
gonna complain.
process?
Yeah, I guess we also can't have like the weeks between like the court date and like all.
And
that, 'cause
also,
in the meantime,
these aren't even states; these are territories
Right.
at this point, right? Are they not even under? I don't know what.
They have to. I can't imagine they wouldn't be under like some sort of.
Stuff happened all the time, I'm sure.
Yes.
And yes, moving on.
Nah, I feel like this is a good topic. Let's
Should
keep talking about
should
immigration.
executions be public?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they were at that time specifically. I mean, because they were in.
Because people
centers.
demanded it.
They were in town centers.
People demanded that they would, see justice be done. It's basically like the lynch mob. It's like
You
people
faced
want to
it.
like lynch these people. It's like okay, well, you're not gonna be allowed to lynch them,
Mhm.
but we'll execute them in public for you.
Yeah.
And then the state was like, you know what? No, we're gonna deny you the privilege of seeing executions now. But I almost feel like now
there's
we've gotten to
still-
the point where if we made executions public, more people would be against it
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
certainly.
than currently
they,
are.
I mean, they used to have viewing rooms for executions.
Right. I
don't
think
know.
they probably still do.
I think they still do.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Also, they used. I remember.
Like victims' family.
I
or,
remember
whoever.
specifically, I don't know, when I was like 10, 11, or 12, 2020 had like specials where they showed up right up to the minute they were going to do the last injection.
Hmm.
And
I
then
don't-
they
yeah.
cut.
I have a
That's
vague memory of that.
Yeah, so I feel like, I mean, that's relatively public.
Right.
You just don't see him literally die.
Right. I mean, maybe it wouldn't really make all that much of a difference.
I don't
Because,
think,
like,
I believe it wouldn't make that much of a difference to the perception of capital punishment.
Right.
Though, because, I mean,
Yeah, it's a different
it's
thing.
probably
when
going to go, it should go by the wayside. It probably will within the next.
I think the thing about like
Well, they're talking about
Public,
bringing back
lethal
public shootings.
What?
For-
Like firing squad or something?
For a death penalty. I heard.
they can talk about a lot
What?
of things.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that like.
I mean,
anyone's
the
gonna, like,
laws-
I
the laws
specifically heard
are
about
such a
law that was being
hodgepodge.
put- I think it was in Texas or like New Mexico.
Oh, okay. Somebody's proposing a new law. Well, because I know the laws are
That
like,
it's no
kind of-
longer cruel and unusual. I believe is what they're trying to bring up.
Huh.
I mean, how much can you literally determine what is cruel and unusual is the interesting
Okay,
question.
yeah.
Specifically
Yeah, I
for
think
lethal
getting
injection.
just shot a bunch of times is not. That's not.
It's
a
not a
good-
guaranteed death.
No,
Like,
that's
oh
not
no, you
good.
got me in my kidneys and my thighs.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's been
that's-
problems. There's been
oh,
problems with
jeez.
lethal injections.
Yeah, there's problems with just about all of them.
All of them, yeah. I mean, technically, the most lethal and most successful was the guillotine.
Yeah,
I've heard that like people talk about that, bringing that back.
it was designed to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it was
it's-
designed. It was designed to
Yeah.
be the perfect execution machine, and it probably is.
Yeah, man. What's his name? Oh God, the French guy.
Yeah, well, the king who got
Robespierre,
guillotined
that's his name.
helped design the guillotine. Isn't
Yeah,
that
but
right?
also-
you learn in history
yeah.
class anyway. I mean,
But
maybe
also,
it's-
no,
Louis
the
the
dude who did it-
Louis the
did you-
16th was so fat that the guy had to jump on the guillotine to get it through his neck.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah. And there's the whole idea that you're supposedly you're still alive for the first
16. The dude did the blink test, and he gets 16 blinks in before
something like that. Yeah.
his head died or whatever. So
Yeah.
how
It's-
long?
yeah, so your brain.
But that
keeps
also
something.
how
How much of that is just you doing something, you being like
and
determined
how
to do
much
it,
is
and
that
your
like,
nerves continue to like
specific?
spaz?
Do you really believe in that study?
I don't know. I heard it from somebody.
I know, but
once,
it was also
probably
done
on the
in
bus.
It's also done in like the 1800s, if anything.
Well, no, they were
yeah.
still using the guillotine. I mean, France.
Up until like the
It was like the 1970s.
Yeah,
There's actually like a video that somebody took of like one of these like it wasn't a public execution, but somebody like took a video of like a French execution. It was like a big. I think like the fact that somebody had managed to videotape it was like this execution with the guillotine. It just looked so barbaric. I think that's what actually prompted them to get rid of the death penalty. It was like
how many
there being a video of this was enough to. Again, that's a vague recollection, so the facts might not be quite right there.
I mean, I have no idea how many countries still have the death penalty. I know there's only a specific amount that have it on that allow it on children. I know that because of West Wing. Four, including America.
Right. I think that there are quite a few countries that have the death penalty, but I don't think that there are very many like in the like developed world or first world or whatever. Like most developed countries do not have the death penalty. No, they got rid of it.
Yeah.
I don't really see what the point of it is.
I mean, it's supposed to be.
that's people.
I mean, it's supposed to be a deterrent.
Like, it doesn't save
I
money.
It assumes that you like
Yeah, it
are
doesn't save
afraid
money.
of death
Yeah, they'd be
and
afraid of
afraid
death,
of
but most of these people
more afraid of death than you are afraid of life in prison.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like it's like is that more
Well, I mean,
of a
Charles
deterrent?
Manson got married. I mean, is life in prison really that bad for Charles Manson? I mean, the dude got married. But
right.
I mean, just killing him. I feel like keeping them alive for 30 years of reviews and over and over of. I mean, I understand. I understand due process and their appeal system.
I don't understand why we don't have more like prison islands.
There you go.
Like Australia was a great idea.
Like Escape from New York was a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Duke of New York ain't number one.
Yeah, as long as the mayor, the president, mayor, governor, or whatever doesn't get kidnapped into the island.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing that can happen that like screws that stuff up.
That is the only problem with that plan.
The risk of that happening.
Yeah, that's like Slim to None.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think the bigger issue, more than like what should be the punishment, is like how can we make sure people aren't putting like innocent people to death like they would in this movie, right? They were like basically putting. Well, I mean, the guy's a bank robber, like a train robber, but he's a good guy. You know, he's not like killing people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what train robbery gets you. Maybe a hanging. I'm not really sure what the penalty.
I think a lot of things were.
I think
were
pretty
a
much
hanging.
you just got a hanging.
A lot of people get hanged.
Or a paddling.
That's
Rob a
fair.
train. That's a paddling. So I think it makes more like there are people who they spend their life in prison because like they were falsely accused and like nobody cared really to defend them and they got like ramrodded through the system and they spend their life in jail. It's like even if they don't get put to death, it's like that's terrible. Yeah. I think that's probably a bigger deal and probably like it's a more important thing to try to change than to try to like eliminate the death penalty. It's like I'd rather make ssure no innocent people are being punished, and then we'll figure out like what then we'll like have the debate about the punishment.
I feel like that's just a sociological just like belief that we've done for hundreds of years. Like, you put the bad guys into a place by themselves,
right?
And that's what we do. That's how that fixes the problem. Separate them from us,
right?
And then that'll solve the problem.
Well, Eastern State Penitentiary, where it used to work, was the first place that basically wasn't that. It was like supposed to be.
Like you're supposed to reform yourself through isolation
people.
And the love of
God.
Well,
I mean,
before that, it was just like isolation and punishment, and then it's supposed to be like reformatory. Basically now we've gotten to the point where we don't really care what happens to people in prison. We just, it's like they get what they deserve.
They get what they deserve, Hopefully,
yep.
Hopefully terrible things happen.
Exactly. Yeah. We like take joy in the fact that like prisoners get like raped.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Everyone's so happy that's happening.
Pretty much.
You get to go to hell essentially. Like you get to send that person to hell.
Yep. But so back to Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Noon. Yes. So they escaped by the wife of Jackie Chan.
Right.
Yeah,
and the future wife of Owen Wilson.
The second time she saves them. She saves them from prison first, then she saves them from the guillotine.
Well, wait. Well, that's right, because she shoots out. Well, she saves Owen Wilson because she shoots
Jackie Wilson's okay. So
yeah.
That's probably some sweet.
So that's actually there we go. She saves him.
Yeah, because
so maybe that's when their love starts to bud.
Not Jackie Wilson.
Yeah,
Jackie Wilson.
Your
love keeps lifting me higher and all,
yeah.
but Jackie Chan saves himself by his cat
Right, he does
ability.
some sweet moves to get out of the noose.
Yeah,
on his
first
own.
he jumps around over his hands, and he jumps up, he gets out of the noose. Owen Wilson cries, screams, and falls into his own coffin, which is probably scary,
Yes.
honestly.
I mean, do you think that you would realize that you would fall into your own coffin if you hadn't seen that you would fall? You're just like, oh, I'm in a box. Do you think you would recognize immediately that it was a coffin?
I don't know. I feel like you would figure it out, and it would be terrifying.
What if this is actually not happening? The rest of the movie doesn't even happen at all,
Yeah,
and he's
that's
just getting
just-
hung like the occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge.
Goes
Yeah,
back.
Yeah, he
yeah,
comes
yeah.
back at the very end. It's like, oh wait, no, I just got hung.
No. That's straight up impossible. It's just him finally giving it. And that's when his legs stop kicking.
Well, I mean, there's already a precedent earlier
Yeah,
in the
that
movie
he
for him
has
imagining
fantasy
things,
sequences.
like, you know, while he's about to die.
That is
so.
such a better way for this movie to end.
Yeah, maybe none of this happens.
As a complete mind
I guess
fuck.
that's why. Yeah, see, and
No,
since
no,
there's
the wife
but
just
since
saves
there's a
Jackie Chan, he gets
sequel-
away.
Yeah.
And since there's a sequel,
Yeah.
that's why he hasn't woken up yet. I didn't see it because if they're gonna have a sequel, it has to still happen at the end of the next movie.
I wish they
Is
would
Honestly,
him
make, like,
waking up.
Honestly, he could still be in that hole with chopsticks.
True.
Because that is an impossible situation to get out of without someone else. Okay, sorry. And the vultures were already eating at his head. You think
Yes.
they're just going to stop because he's got chopsticks in his mouth?
No.
No. They're going to keep chopping at him. They're probably
And
going
he's
to rip
quite
his ear off.
sunburned
His
already.
ear's fine. Like, come on. They're going to chop at you.
Yeah.
They're vultures.
Yeah.
They like meat.
Yes, they want.
They
it.
prefer
well, they
dead
prefer
meat.
they prefer carrion.
I don't know if they prefer. I think it's just most easy.
No. It's
It doesn't
it's-
attack them,
Yeah.
I don't know how much it is for
but
hunting.
he can't really attack them either. So
I don't know how much it is for them hunting and how as a culture
they're
they're
probably
cowardice. or-
opportunistic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
lions have been presented as cowardice.
Yeah.
They wait for the kill to be killed and then go after what they're doing.
Yeah, they can beat up all the other predators.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they take the best parts, but yeah, I was reading this thing about how hyenas are actually, far more delicate and precise killer and
Like better hunters
Yeah,
and stuff
and
like
like-
that. Yeah.
the-
Yeah, when you're the big guy on the savannah, all you have to do is like take everybody else's lunch money.
Yeah. Pretty
You don't
much.
need to bring your own.
yeah. Ain't no teachers stopping you.
Yeah, like what? I mean, until you get killed by a poacher because
Yeah.
they want like a lion skin.
Yeah,
rug,
that's
which
it.
would be pretty sweet. I mean,
I've
yeah, I
actually
understand.
never
Or
seen
for
a lion skin
Hercules.
rug.
That's because you're not
Cool enough.
cool enough.
No, I just don't feel like I've ever seen a lion's like pelt.
Okay.
I've seen a lot
because
of.
I don't disagree with you.
I just wonder what I'm just thinking about.
My
it.
explanation.
I'm sorry.
Is your lack of coolness.
But I see all kinds of dead animals.
Yeah, because you're uncool.
Yeah, I concur with Luke. Personally,
Well,
that's like
Yeah, that is life, isn't it?
so
yeah.
So how's the movie end?
Nah, then the movie keeps going.
Ah,
It does.
I thought that movie was gonna be like 6 hours long.
It felt like it dragged a little bit, just because there's so many tangents and these little adventures. They don't really matter.
yeah, like when they went into the camp for the first time and like then they just like leave again.
Yeah.
I mean, like they
What's
go into
wrong
like
with discovering that
the
he
Chinese
is
like
more
work camp. And,
Yeah. Oh yeah, he
Um,
tries to save the princess, but she doesn't want to leave, and then they run away, and then they go into this place, and then they go
Right, and he
into that
blows her
place.
cover.
He
Yeah,
does.
seriously.
He does. He blows
Totally
her
blows
spot
her
like a
whole
mother.
cover. She's trying to just like play it cool and not have all the other like slave Chinese like railroad
there's a bad
workers
guy.
know that she's the princess, and then he won't like stop bowing.
Because there's a bad
embarrassing.
Chinese guy, and then there's a
It's cultural, I guess, but and that's sort of the whole point of that's one of the points in the movie is
Yeah.
like
That
You know,
America is
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
don't be-
Transcontinental
yeah, exactly,
Railroad
yeah,
was
don't be
messed
anything
up.
but
don't be
American.
Eastern, be Western. This
Shout.
isn't the East.
This
The
is
West
not
is-
the East. This is what is it?
This is the West. I don't know. It's like
the sun rises here.
it's kind of interesting because like Jackie Chan's like very pro China and stuff like that.
Well,
But I mean, he didn't write this movie. I guess.
But he turns on that real quick as soon as he gets that thing cut off. He gets his hit. He gets his.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, I
Oh,
can't go
right.
back now, so,
Right, yeah, something
It's
about
his
his hair,
ponytail
his
cut off.
ponytail being
Ponytail.
cut means like he can't go back to like his city or something.
Yeah,
Seems kind of
something,
dumb.
something. So
yeah, but it's all for the better because now
Oh,
he gets to
so-
stay in America.
Right,
so all the bad
and get married to the
guys.
princess.
All the bad guys are gonna get money from the three Imperial guards that are still alive. They meet up with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. They have a big shootout. They're at a church. Movie ends.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it.
yeah. What are some other things Luke?
Yeah, and like the wives stuff happens like
Yeah.
at the very end, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a nice little everyone gets
I
together.
do kind of like that they sort of. It's not like too like. I don't know. There's like the good like homosocial bonding that happens.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like it's mostly just about like their.
well, I mean,
friendship.
there's that whole thing where they become separate again because Owen Wilson does not want to be seen as
throws a bunch of
hanging out-
slurs around. To,
hanging
like,
out
have-
with a Chinaman.
Right,
to-
just
wait,
to
throwing a
show
bunch of slurs around to
Yeah.
get the lady that he had paid to have sex with him to have sex with him.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, how are we with
How-
Chinaman as a word used a bunch of times?
how resolute is he in his
I mean,
friendship?
it's
really, he's willing to say
historically
those
accurate.
things?
It's historically accurate, but I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
I think it's okay because I think you need
Could it be a
to.
professional football team?
I think you need
I think
to.
it could be a professional football team. You know that?
I think you need to not forget that like things were like that
And they're
in
trying
other
to, yeah.
times.
And
You know, like
Yeah.
they're like I think a similar controversy comes up like when schools have like buildings named after people. Like this happens in the South, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you know, you've got a building named after like this dude who was like, you know, big time like bigot, KKK, whatever, you know, and it's like, well, do we really want to have a building at our school named after this guy, you know, like, and it's like, well, I mean, I don't know, but it's kind of, I think it's, if we're going to, I think it's important that people sort of know this, and I think that's a better outcome than just like forgetting about it or something, you know, but, I don't know, I sort of understand like that it could just be like hurtful or you know I guess I could see that I don't know,
Just wondering.
see both sides for sure.
For show. Alright, what else did you write down? We gotta get to our favorite joke.
Oh man, yeah, we gotta save that for the end. I think we'll talk about that at the very end. That one was excellent.
Save for the end.
Yeah, so well he gets like wasted and gets married, and I guess there was like I didn't really catch, was there something about it being like where Las Vegas was or something, or is it just because they're in the West?
I don't think. I don't think.
I mean, if it is, it's a very like.
I don't
I just-
think it's a connotation. I think it's. Just,
I think I was distracted by cookies at that particular
Where
moment.
you
So I
were-
wasn't
Yeah,
sure
there
if
are
there
a lot
were
of cookies here.
I wasn't sure if there were more, like if there was more to that. But yeah, he gets wasted and gets married.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
whenever
if I
he
don't know
wakes
if it's,
up.
I don't think it's supposed to be that they're in Las Vegas.
Okay, yeah, I guess they're in
But
the
it would
plains
make sense. They're
as
saying
well.
they're in Nevada, and he
Right.
goes over the mountains. I guess that's where Vegas would be.
I don't
have no
really-
idea.
I've been there, but I flew in.
do not.
I
know
did not walk there.
I do not know the
across the
geography
mountains
of Nevada. I'm sorry, guys. I will do.
Oh,
more
when he
research.
shows up, when the Native Americans see him for the first time, he's wearing like his
Yeah,
his
this is
his,
so
Chi-
weird.
his Chinaman clothes.
Yeah.
He's wearing
Use the nomenclature.
to be historically accurate. So he's got like it's basically like silk pants
Yeah.
and like a long silk
Like over
jacket.
robe,
Yeah, like a robe kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's
they
just a
see
little-
him, and they ask it like, why is he wearing a dress?
Yeah.
I thought that was really weird.
And then they call him when he gets married, warrior who fights in dress.
right.
Yeah.
As in his
Which
name
that-
was
When like when he's
dances
wearing
with
his
wolves.
not
Right.
like so far away from.
So that-
what
I mean,
they're
that
But
wearing.
I
almost
feel like
would make-
that is this like the way they use the language. I feel is
Right.
definitely the most racist.
Right. Yeah. I think
Where they're like, oh, we're gonna use these clever little jokes with
yeah,
the
it's
Indian
like
language.
like what
Like, oh,
Indian according to white people circa like 1950 just becomes now like what actually like
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
he who
yeah, because like
Yeah, I get
there's
that.
a movie called Dances with Wolves because the guy used to run around with a campfire with wolves.
Right.
We're gonna call this guy warrior who fights in dress.
I mean I think like yeah it was just kind of like silly because it's like well I like
And they're
Native
trying-
Americans are not really known for their like gender essentialism.
Yeah.
Like his clothes would have looked weird and they definitely could have just
Yeah.
noticed that.
They could have just said, "Yeah, what the fuck is this guy wearing?"
And like he's essentially just wearing chaps, and so
But
Right,
it's all
and-
like bright
and
blue.
yeah,
with,
and he's
like,
wearing
embroidery and
pants
stuff.
anyway.
Yeah, it's
like he's
like-
actually wearing pants with like a long jacket, like a duster. It was weird,
It
you
was
know.
just- it
It's
was
like we
just
gotta just
unnecessary.
throw in some like
some goofy jokes
yeah,
at this
like
point.
yeah.
Instead of just getting him stoned and, on a peace pipe and married.
Well, you got to make the conservative people happy by reinforcing gender roles if you're gonna have like get a little wild with your drug references. I guess got to throw some red meat out there for people.
Yeah.
Make
Gotta
everybody
get
happy.
them chuckling so they can think, "Oh, it's okay."
It's all right.
Okay. They're
At least they're
savages.
reinforcing gender
Yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I thought was kind of weird. Let's see. I mean, I don't really know how much more.
I'm trying to think what I was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who wants to tell who wants to explain?
Okay,
I don't
so
know. I
the-
feel.
But the
We
best
just let it.
joke-
We can just let it
the-
go. We can just
No,
like.
Yeah,
make
I
it-
don't
make
know that it
people
was
watch
that
it.
great of a joke.
I want to talk about the best joke. I
Okay,
love
because there
this
is something to
joke.
talk about it too. We
Yeah.
could why. All right, so
Yeah.
So the whole thing is that the 3 Imperial guards that come to America to save the princess.
to ransom her.
Yeah,
To pay the ransom,
To pay the
yeah.
ransom.
We're
and
somehow
return her.
taking like just forever to get to
Well,
where
they
They
have
have
no idea where they're going.
And they have
the
to, and
translator.
they're carrying a chest,
the
or
tra-
something, like a
carrying
chest
a chest of gold.
full of gold, which should be like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
But whatever,
Yeah.
we'll move
Their
past that.
translator is
10,000 gold
dead.
pieces.
Yeah.
They cannot speak English, and their translator is dead.
Right, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. The
They're just, like,
translator.
traveling,
Yep. They're
And they
just, like,
run
three,
into
yep.
they run into a nice family. Thank God.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
They run into a nice family, and all you see is
They
these
take
The
little
them in.
lady,
clips.
the lady asks
These
if
little
they're-
clips is that so all you see is the Chinese Imperial Guard are making noodles. They're just making noodles, hanging out.
Right, and
By-
like practicing their swordsmanship
Yeah,
and
just
stuff.
practicing,
Doing
training.
some stuff.
And the wife is like, I ain't never seen no Indians like this.
Mexicans. She called them Mexicans.
I thought she said Indians.
No, I think it was the Mexicans was we got a Mexican standoff, but no Mexicans.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
terrible.
Which was the
Yeah.
worst line
No, she
probably in
said-
the whole movie.
She said Indians.
Except for Karate Crazy, that was pretty
Oh
bad.
my God!
But,
No, the
yeah.
karate crazy.
Hey, we're talking about the best line of the movie.
Yeah, so let's.
And
All right,
she
so
says- she
so I
says,
think
I-
it was in. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think
Yeah,
you're
she
right.
said, I ain't never seen no Indians like that before. And guys like, they're not Indians, they're Jews. And it was.
Which is very funny to us because it's like they're very clearly not like Jews.
It's just a
at
wonderful
all,
setup for a
and-
joke.
Yeah, like you don't think that like you think he's just gonna be like they're from China, they're China, make some sort of slur
Yeah, but
or
like, why
something
really?
because he looks
why
like some
really
sort
would
of
this
ignorant
person
hick.
have any idea
But-
where that guy's from?
Yeah, but he just he thinks they're Jews, and then later we were talking about like maybe why. So we were thinking like the weird clothes.
Yeah.
They were like they're
Clothes.
traveling.
Little
They've
hats.
got we got like gold maybe
Yeah,
or
the
the
gold, yeah.
hats.
I mean, there's no way. I mean, obviously,
We're
this
not
guy's
really
never seen a Jewish
sure,
man and has
right.
no idea. He only knows the stereotypes of Jews.
Right. Yeah. What he knows must be very little, though we're
Yeah.
not sure what it is that he knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty. We thought that was pretty funny.
It was just
I-
a funny,
I
weird
liked
little
that a
joke, and I just thought it was random and welcome.
Wait, hold on.
honestly. Yeah, and then there's terrible jokes. We were just talking
No,
about.
that joke wasn't terrible.
No,
It's
no,
just
it's
Owen
not
Wilson's delivery wasn't so hot.
What, the Karate Crazy joke? No, that,
Yeah.
that joke's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's from something else.
Is it?
I'm almost positive it's in something
I
that's
wouldn't
real.
be surprised if somebody said something very similar.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a pretty
it's
easy
very
joke to
obvious.
make.
It's a pretty easy joke, but I think he's cribbing it from somebody else.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The whole, like, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. Great joke. And then there's the other terrible joke, which is they're all pointing guns to each other, and the mean bad guy.
The
says-
sheriff, right?
Marshall
The marshal.
says, "What we got here is a Mexican standoff, but we ain't got no Mexicans."
But I don't think that there'd be any reason to think they would call it a Mexican standoff,
It's
and
just-
it's just taking up time.
And it's
It
just like,
doesn't-
oh, we
it
got a
doesn't
little
make
line in
it's
here.
so
It's just-
dumb.
I bet
It's the kind of things where you just like, why would they?
I actually
even-
like that actor. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's just a random bad guy. He was in Air Force One
Okay.
as a bad guy. He turns on the president. It's pretty badass.
Is he
And
one of the?
I bet he feels like terrible saying that line out loud.
Probably. I would hope so.
I hope so too. Honestly, I mean, I would feel bad saying it out loud. I always felt bad saying lines from plays that were terrible out loud. Like, it's bad. I don't want to say it. Don't make me. And I would do it anyway because I'm an actor. But I still think it. Don't make me say this.
Please.
I mean, yeah. So that. Do we have anything else? Anything anybody wants to talk about? Shanghai Noon?
Oh, I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
No, I think that's. I think we about covered
I
it. I
don't
mean, it's.
know.
I think. I mean, it was a good movie.
I
I
wouldn't
enjoyed
say
it.
it was bad. I would say it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's a
There's
good
some
movie.
fun fights. There's drunk Jackie Chan, but he doesn't fight drunk, which is a drag.
Right. That's true.
Because
Missing out on a little bit of that. That would have
Yeah.
been fun.
if he had fought drunk.
We did get to see a drunk horse.
Oh,
we can
yeah.
end on that.
Yeah,
That
oh
was
my
that was
God,
an pretty excellent
drunk
horse.
scene.
Oh, yeah, that horse was probably the best character in the movie.
Oh,
honestly.
definitely. That
There's
horse.
just like a really
that horse
well-trained
was a ham.
horse.
The horse steals the bottle from somebody and just downs it. Just
Downs
chugs
it,
the whole
yeah.
bottle and drops it.
The horse is just really well trained, and it's fun to watch
This is
well trained
excellent.
animals perform. Honestly.
So yeah, if you like drunk horses, this is definitely a movie for you.
Wait, hold on. Why are we saying it's a movie for them? They just watched it. If they
Yeah,
follow the
hopefully.
rules of the podcast.
That's the plan.
Oh,
Hopefully.
that's what they're supposed
Hopefully,
to.
yeah. Hopefully they watched it.
They
and then
listened
can-
to us before,
Yeah,
and then they pause it.
No,
and
it's
then
okay.
watch
I
the
forgot that
movie.
that's what happens
Yeah,
too.
I always-
So.
Well, so I'm glad that you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or
you
that
did.
you didn't, or
I hope you liked it.
it just be.
It was
I mean,
fun.
if you just like watched it at
Yeah.
all, or listened to this thing up until this point,
Yeah.
thanks, I guess.
Absolutely.
I actually
Thanks
have
and
a lot of
sorry.
contempt for you.
Sorry.
Yeah, Luke feels bad. He hates you.
I'm sad that you don't
Hi.
have better things to do.
Oh.
Like make
Seriously, why?
podcasts.
Like, go.
Make
No,
a
just being-
podcast of your
Yeah,
own.
yeah. Make a.
Contribute
do
to this
that.
world.
Don't do
Yeah,
that.
put more stuff out
Only
there.
listen to
Put Kevin out
ours.
of business.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
come
I
on,
don't have
yeah.
a business. I'm just trying not to be poor.
Yeah, take money out of Kevin's
Oh,
pocket.
no.
The money that doesn't.
We need to stop the podcast.
Okay, bye.
Alright, guys. Let's call it a day. Bon voyage.
That was fun.